happy mail?
Huh?
You get my happy mail?
Yes.
No hurry on the response.
Hey. Did he get all that downloaded, the mitigation plan? That's
Yeah.
not my job. Okay. Like, I usually
I'd like to call the county board meeting to order. Would you all please rise and recite the pledge with me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for being here today. I'd like to have the clerk call the roll.
Chittick.
Here.
Ludington.
Here.
Patrick.
Here.
Bruner.
Here.
Lorenzen.
Here.
Farnham.
Here.
And Voigt.
Here. We do have a quorum. Next item on the agenda is the December 11th regular board meeting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, turn it
I thought I'd turn this off.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big one, but I wasn't sure.
Hard to figure out those flip phones, is it?
Okay, you've had the minutes in your possession for a few days. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Andy moves. Lud seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. Claims against the county, likewise you've had those available to you. Are there any questions about them or discussion or clarification needed? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve those claims.
So moved.
Derek moves, John seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. County board claims, I'd like to mention to you that there's 3 payrolls this month. We always get paid on the second payroll, so you're going to be missing any meetings that you've attended that you were going to report today or have been reported until the next time in February. So I thought I'd let you know how that lays. A motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Derek moves. Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. Okay, we come this time in our meeting for public comment. Anybody who wishes to address the board on any subject, we have the rostrum up there. I'd like you to identify yourself, and we have a rule for 5 minutes. So, is there anybody who has any public comments this morning? Okay, hearing none, we'll move along to the agenda. The Highway Department resolution for improvement supplement for BLR 09110, appropriating motor fuel tax for the following Sulphur Springs Road. We talked about this on Monday morning. Aaron, do you have anything to add or just generally outline?
Just generally, you're getting a little bit, the 9110, you're asking for a little bit more money to continue studying the Sulphur Springs Road, and then the second one, I'm gonna ask the board to authorize chairman to work with, for us to enter an agreement with civil design to study a structure that would need to be replaced if we were to receive that funding.
Just give a brief description of what they're gonna do on Sulphur Springs Road.
A brief description, we're going to do safety improvements to 2 curves. There's down by Cash Right, there's what we call an unsafe alignment, and then up there by the High and Klein corner, there's been demonstrated safety problems. A consultant was engaged by the Department of Transportation for a statewide study to find critical segments throughout the state, and in Edgar County, the only critical segment in all of the county was this piece of Sulphur Springs Road, so I think we're positioned well to get dollars. So horizontal and vertical realignment, Dan.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions or clarifications? I'd entertain
Straightening the road out.
I'd entertain a motion to approve that. Carl moves,
Second.
Dan seconds. Mr. Clerk?
Chittick.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Farnham.
Yes.
Okay, it is approved. Next resolution, as Aaron has described, is to authorize the chairman to sign a preliminary engineering service agreement with Civil Design, Inc. for the Sulphur Spring Road, as he just described. Entertain a motion to approve. Dan moves.
Second.
John seconds. Mr. Clerk?
Chittick,
Yes.
Luddington,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
and Farnum.
Yes.
It is approved. Resolution authorizing county board chairman to sign an amendment to preliminary engineering services with Knight and Associates on the lower Terre Haute Road. Again, we talked about that on Monday morning. You want to briefly describe that?
I could, or Derek, briefly.
Derek?
Yeah, Derek.
So this was a federal funding project that requires a certain type of vetting of engineering firms. This is the second one we've done. We sat down, we have a score sheet, we have three people that are vying for the spot. We heard three presentations, the three people vetting it scored it independently, came away with an obvious choice. We got the bill from said obvious choice, and it was quite a bit higher than what we could afford. So this is our second take at that process. So basically, we're gonna do it in-house and get it done and try to save some money. Is that pretty good?
That's perfect.
Any other clarifications or questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Derek moves. Andy seconds. Mr. Clerk?
Chittick,
Yes.
Luddington,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
It is approved. Resolution for improvement of BLR 09110 appropriating motor fuel tax for the following route.
This section's your administering federal dollars. We use Hillard bookkeeping. Last month, you guys approved Hillard's contract. We failed to put it in 9110, so this is obligating dollars to spend on that contract. Again, it's for Hillard, and specifically it's for that $1 million worth of guardrail project that was in March. And we've been very satisfied with his bookkeeping for the expenditure of federal dollars. Very satisfied.
Questions or clarifications? Carl moves. Second. Andy seconds. Mr. Clerk?
Chittick,
Yes.
Luddington,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Okay. It is approved. Next, we have a resolution to relocate polling place from Wentz School to Paris First United Methodist Church, effective immediately. Augie?
Had a request from the superintendent, District 95, to move the polling place out of Wentz School and Memorial. We've decided to go ahead and work on Wentz first, and so that's what's before you. I looked at several different alternatives and decided that the First United Methodist Church would be the best location for that. Ample parking, it's all handicap accessible. Their recent renovation, which has been now quite a few years ago, but still. And just the flow of the traffic in and out of the actual room where we're going to vote. So it's pretty clean, it's pretty simple. We have the support of the Board of Trustees of the church, and so here we are. Questions about that?
Hearing none, motion to ratify or approve. That would be Carl, followed by John second. You want a roll call
Yes, please.
when you're ready, sir?
Chittick,
Yes.
Luddington.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Okay, it is approved. Thank you, Augie. Resolution authorizing chairman to execute a deed of conveyance for this parcel. I really don't have a lot of information on here.
Polling
Don.
places.
You missed
I
it.
missed one?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the voting.
oh, I'm sorry. I saw polling, so I checked that off. Resolution approving polling places for 2020. Have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Derek moves, Dan seconds. All those in favor signify by, I'm sorry, call the roll, please.
Chittick,
Yes.
Ludington,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Brunner,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
and Farnum.
Yes.
It is approved. Now I'm back in order. Resolution authorizing chairman to execute deed of conveyance for the parcel. Don's not here, I don't have a lot, it's just standard that our trustee is offered and is gonna sell one of the parcels that they currently hold. Do we have anything in the? No.
No, it's,
Motion to approve. Dan moves. Andy seconds.
roll.
Roll.
Chittick,
Yes.
Ludington,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
Brunner,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
It's approved. Approve a request for Human Resources Center to appoint Nate Alexander to the Edgar County 708 Mental Health Board with the term expiring on May 19th, 21. Jonathan, do you have anything you want to say here, or?
Just that it'd be on behalf of the 708 board rather than human resources.
Okay, well then
Do you
it's,
mind if I ask a question? Or-
no,
I don't know Nate Alexander. I mean, could you, in a nutshell, I don't need a resume.
Nate is the head pastor out here at Lake Ridge Christian Church.
Oh, okay.
That's his
I do
life
know
as
who
a
he is then, yeah.
family man.
Okay. It's just nice to know a little bit about people we approve.
Is he currently on the board or
He is not.
new member?
Has he been warned about Dan?
I don't attend that meeting.
He is not. You don't warn people about other board members until they're on the board.
It's a good thing it's
Appreciate that.
a motion to approve, please.
so moved.
Derek moves, Carl seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Next, we move into the department head reports.
Nope, one more.
Jeez. Oh, we accept the Jeff Goodwin resignation from the Edgar County Housing Authority. Motion to accept his resignation.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
John seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Would like to mention, since we're on the Housing Authority, we,
Did you catch that?
There was one nay.
Yes.
oh, there was, okay.
I talked to him, so I was kind of concerned.
Okay, well, it's still registered as
Yeah,
approved,
right,
so,
okay.
okay. We do have, an individual that, we are going to appoint to the board, and we're, David Wright is, working through the, current administration to find a resident so that we can appoint a resident to that board, and hopefully we'll be able to do that at the next meeting, or the study session.
Two vacancies or one?
Yes, we have 2 vacancies. The other letter is coming, we just haven't received it yet. And we did get clarification on whether she would like to reconsider, and she does not. So that's where we're at.
So just so I'm clear, we're still, the policy is one resident on the board.
It is a suggestion. The regional office suggests it out of Chicago, and if we can, we'd like to try to do that.
But not two, I just misunderstood the.
We have somebody else, a citizen that has expressed an interest. I've talked to him, Carl's talked to her, and I don't see any reason. Once we get everything together, we'll let you know, and
Okay.
we'll go from there.
I've talked to 2 members on the board, and
Well, we all have. Yeah, and it's, Carl, I think has talked to some, and you guys might share information together, okay? Anything else? All right. Okay, Don is not here today. He has a mountain on his desk. You do have the cash flow and the notes at the bottom. Please follow that. Aaron, do you have anything to add today?
I have a few items to report to the board. One, per the board's direction, Dirks began interaction with Jeff and Jay on the excess. Jeff, you with me on that? On the, what you'd asked for, that we work with the sheriff's department on providing them additional storage?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's begun.
All
I
right,
guess Dirks has reached out and I tried
right,
to.
yeah. I had contacted you and then the sheriff and, yeah, all
So
right.
that's moving. Janet and I are working together to talk about IT needs that will come from the new Metro service that I've introduced you to, Jeff, that you've been introduced to. The health department and highway departments wanting to work with the county board on IT needs.
Yes,
Okay, that's
Yes.
going on.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted
That's
here.
okay.
I'm
Jill and
sorry.
I found out last night or after this flooding in Brockton that our hazard mitigation plan's outdated. And we were leaving that with Ez to decide what next. I guess it outdates in 5 years, we'll just figure this out. And if she chooses to go this route, Coles County Regional Planning is offered to seek, administer, and do the entire, it'd be another, is it $50,000 grant or
Yeah.
something like that? And of course, our time would be our contribution, our in-kind would be our time, and the county has a pretty elaborate accounting system where we can keep track of that. So that's something to consider as well. So, any questions about any of that? Oh, and would like to state that we had a discussion Monday, we have begun negotiations on the equipment that's in Florida, and they need a demand check later in the month. If that goes forward, want to give the board an
It's a fan
opportunity
boat's gonna come in handy with all these rains we're having, so.
to comment on that. I assume that I've been blessed to move forward on that.
Yeah, the board had no issues at the study session. Didn't vote on it, but
Right.
nobody had, I don't recall any
And
concerns.
that may require a demand check mid-month, and I think that's,
No, I think we can
give
come
someone an opportunity to say, wait, if Jake will mind or whatever.
Okay. Any other clarifications needed from Aaron at this point? We got a lot of balls in the air over
Yeah,
there.
we do.
Okay. Sam?
Nothing different than Monday.
Okay. Sheriff?
Just working on a jail, we did get a new transport van purchased, and waiting for a couple things in it, and it's ready to go, so
How much was that, by the way?
23, 175 or something like that. It's 18, got a little miles on it, but good condition.
And are
excellent
we-
condition.
Are we splitting that up, or did we pay for that? Okay,
Split it up.
that's fine. I just wanted to know. Tom? How are
Our
you?
new fuel system is working wonderfully, so we're very pleased with that. And as some of you know, we're letting bids this Friday on the next project.
Okay. Have you seen an uptick in sales, fuel sales, or?
No, the weather's not been very conducive.
Well, I know that it'll take a little time for that to be on the FAA list of regional areas where people can stop through and get fuel, so it'll take a little time. Carl, did you have a,
Is it totally complete?
No.
The
Painting, we'll have to do some painting in the spring.
lining?
And there's a very small section of fresh concrete around some electrical boxes, and they have to put some rock in there. They can't get to it now because it runs too soft.
Did they move that road, or is that part of that next project?
Yes, the white rock was repositioned, I guess would be the way to say it.
Okay. Over
We-
there for the other side?
Yes, east side.
And that's in the current bid package. So we've tried to optimize it the best we could, okay? We also have a payment due tomorrow, which we'll be making on that on those projects is our share, so we'll be doing that, okay? Hi, Janet.
Morning. Nothing new really to report from last time.
Is the cooperation with SmartWatt and everything working okay?
Yes, it's been well. We met, actually, Chuck came over with 3 of the guys from Sycamore and sat down with me. We went over some few things that I had questions about, and Sycamore's been in a couple of times.
Okay. Well, ESDA, how's ESDA doing?
Oh, good. We're starting to plan our exercise. We're having our first meeting next the 21st, which is coming up Tuesday. We're picked to have a weather spotting class this year in our county, because they budget and personnel, they don't do it every year now, so we're looking to do that March 9th. And then I'm trying to get on board with Aaron. All of the hazard mitigation planning and all that stuff that was approved before was back when Kit and Fid were, they were the ones that did the whole plan, so trying to learn all about it and what needs, the revisions and all that kind of stuff, but that's about it.
Did we wind up getting in the grant? Has the state come through with the money from last year
I
yet?
haven't received any checks, but everything's up to date and everything like that, so it's just.
A matter of getting them in?
Yep.
For last year, I
Mhm.
mean.
And I told you, I think at the last meeting, it was like, was it 17, something that was still owed to us, but it just hasn't been dispersed yet.
Okay, I need to
They
look.
said within the next, well, the last meeting, they said the next 6 weeks or something like that.
That's fine. I just wanted to double check to make sure we were still on track for that.
Yep.
What about the flooding this past weekend?
Didn't really have too many issues. I was headed to Champaign and I had a call from the Brockton Fire Chief, and he was kind of doing preventative measures. They started getting flooding at one of the houses that normally gets flooded, so they had sandbags, they just needed sand, so we contacted, Dirk at the county and then Chris Redmond at the city, and I think the city ended up taking them a truckload of sand up there, and as far as I know, everything after that was good, so.
Yeah, that's Mrs. Kelly.
Mhm.
She got a hold of me. I talked to Aaron,
It was
the
handled,
fire.
I mean, he said they were expecting more rain that evening, so they were just kind of a cautionary type thing, so.
And we're trying to re-put together the plan to
Mhm.
mitigate that or at least help in the future, okay?
Yep.
So,
We-
sorry to step on you.
Go ahead.
The, if I understood correctly, you're basically looking at things to see whether or not we need
Well, like
to do the.
See, I was not here at all when all this happened. I got stuck with all like the cost match stuff, everything after the fact, because both Dwayne and Kit had left, so I don't know much about the grant at all. I've read through it, I've looked through it, Josh needed me to send him a copy, so I was looking through it too, so I'm just trying to figure out exactly what needs updated and that kind of stuff, and then, I mean, I'm all for updating it and getting with Coles County, so just trying to figure out what I need to do, I guess.
So we're not in the decision project process, whether or not to do it, it's just making sure we have all our ducks in a row prior to actually making a request. Because like I say, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't.
And we have money available, so.
Okay.
All right. Angie, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good. Anything?
We're just moving right along, we're doing good.
Okay.
No
Thank you.
problems at the moment. The Sycamore, I will have to say, Sycamore has been very polite and they're good to work with. They've been in and out of our office several times.
Yeah, all of you, is there any concerns or anything that you wish to share with the board on the process we're going through with Sycamore? Has anybody, if not, if you don't want to say anything now, please get with Andy and let him know any concerns or issues. They don't have to be good, bad, or indifferent, just anything you have, please contact Andy. I'm sure he's available, okay? Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I've got a few items to report.
Thank you.
We served through July to December. We served 234 students in our Too Good for Drugs program in the middle schools. That does include Clark County numbers, I just don't have the breakout. And then we're always under audit. Our placement programs, which help people get jobs in the community, people that are on disability, or people that have disabilities, received 100% on their last review. And currently the model we're looking at for our collaboration with the hospital is called an IMPACT unit, which stands for Emergency Psychiatric Assessment, Treatment, and Healing. And in our vision, this would include things like people with suicidal ideation coming directly to the unit to receive treatment, rather than necessarily the ER. That would depend on the medical issues. That's all.
Any questions or clarifications?
I know you're building a new building out there. I don't know, is this the hospital, or are you guys doing this together, or what's the,
The hospital owns the building.
okay,
There is we have capital campaign dollars that we've raised that we'll
Right.
use towards that building.
okay.
And it's a collaborative effort as far as,
But as far as, once it's in operation, it'll be under your guys' control, or?
half of it will be under our control and half will be under the hospital.
Okay.
And the property owner will be the hospital though, which is probably the safer pocket to be in, a little deeper
Right.
liability wise.
You know, what I've heard of it, it's a good addition to the area.
It's looking really nice. I got to see it yesterday.
Is there a timeline on that, when you think it'll be in there?
I'm hearing the end of spring is what I'm hearing. But it's a construction project, so.
Okay.
Can't imagine what we're talking about.
In our timeline, they have a targeted opening date of end of first quarter is what they're telling me.
Okay.
So the meetings that John and I are setting on are timelines for staffing and development, and then it's end of first quarter.
Okay, thank you. Jay, do you have anything this morning?
No, Jeff said.
I understand, I just didn't want to ignore you and have you,
All right,
put you in a bad mood for the rest of the day.
good right here.
All right. Augie?
The only other thing that I have is we start early voting on February the 6th. So we are making preparations for that.
Okay. Anything else from any department head that I may have missed? Okay, Dan?
We had an animal shelter meeting yesterday. Some of the figures, 2018, we had 55 animals went to rescue, 5 were euthanized. 2019, we had 180 went to rescue and 13 euthanized. That included 60 cats from one house, so we had a problem over, I think it was on Chestnut, where a guy had 60 cats in his house, so
You were only able to take 40 out of those.
I got my own cats, I don't worry about that. So that's the reason why the numbers for last year were kind of high, so. They have 15 in the shelter right now, so it is kind of crowded. And most of them are, a lot of them are pit bulls, and nobody really wants. But if you'd like to get an animal, we have some extras out there, so. Rural King donated 400 pounds of food to the shelter, which we really appreciate that. And we had only one call out last month, so if we pass that policy, so we only have one of those. So. Other than that, everything's running fine.
Thank you, Dan.
You're
Any
welcome.
questions? Andy? Nothing happening with you, is there?
I met with the Smart Walk guys that are in charge of doing the HVAC up here. And I talked to Augie, I think I got, there seemed to be some confusion between the prints that they got from Smart Walk and the prints that they were glad that they got the ones from Augie. He had some blueprints from when they did the remodel like 68 or 70, something like that up here. And they said those were the prints they really needed to.
Is that the architect that designed our elevator shaft?
Yeah.
Easy.
Top notch.
The concern was that some things weren't on the plans that they got from Smart Watt, but like wall, I mean, they said it's a difficult building because of the design is round or octagonal or however, but so.
Octagonal, the emphasis was on the wrong level.
What's that? So I think they sound like once they got that and I talked to them, we walked around and looked at some things, I think they're pretty well know what they're on board with.
Is that Sycamore? That's the actual HVAC guys in Sycamore?
Yeah. And I had said, he said these units that they put in, he goes, you can't hear anything from them. They're extremely quiet and I think it's gonna be.
A lot like what we have now with our window.
With the window air conditioning. Come in, turn them on a little early and shut them off and. But it sounds like it's gonna be a really nice system when they get done, really efficient. So But I got their names and they got my number, and I said, anything you need, get a hold of me. I told them, get a hold of each department when they anticipate that they're going to work in that particular area, to get a hold, preferably a week ahead, kind of work with them. They said they'd be willing to come in on weekends, come in early, so that they're not in people's way.
Are most of the contractors Sycamore, or is that pretty much exclusively HVAC and then like the plumbing side?
The plumbing's gonna be Sycamore also.
Okay. So are those two, were you able to talk to those groups, or is that?
Yep.
they
This
cross
guy
over?
will be in charge of the team that comes in and works at the jail. He said most likely he will be in charge of them. The guy's name's John Terrell. And, he said that the parts for the plumbing, they're waiting on some parts right now. But when they come in, I said, we wanna kinda move the jail to the front of the line. I did get a letter or an email from Chuck Hernandez with Smart Watt. Came in last night sometime, and I looked through it this morning, but he wants to know what the scope of what we want to do in the old part of the jail, so I'll discuss with you guys. I know he mentioned boiler, I don't know whether we wanna go, I don't know.
That changes the numbers quite a
I
bit.
was gonna call Paris Refrigeration, discuss with him what he thought the condition of the boiler. They did get back with me on the pump.
Mhm.
It'd be 600 plus labor for them to rebuild the pump that they got, 1,250 for a new pump. So I'm gonna talk to them and see what he feels the condition of that boiler is, and then we can kinda make a decision based on that. But,
Are they getting us prices on the old part of the jail?
yeah,
What about the issue that Jake talked about on Monday, as far as their estimates by reality, as far as the plumbing goes and changing those fixtures? Now, did you discuss that? Or was somebody talking about that?
as far as,
Their estimates on time were off, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because they were talking about the way Smart Watt made it out to be, is that it was gonna be a simple come in, fix, put back together, and the guys that I talked to were like, we're gonna have to be cutting stuff and changing things, and,
that's kind of the impression I got from the guy I talked to yesterday too.
right. So Smart Watt kinda seemed like it was gonna be a faster process than what the guys from Sycamore said. It's not gonna be as fast as what they're saying it's gonna be, so.
Well, it's old plumbing.
Well, we
Anybody's
totally
ever
know
worked
that,
on
but
old
the
plumbing?
Smart Watt guys are the ones that kinda come in and say, oh,
Right.
no, this would be a snap to do this and this and this, and these guys are like, oh, no, there's not gonna be a snap to do any of this, it's gonna take some time, so, you know.
Which, and I guess at that point, that's a discussion between the general and, yeah. So,
I mean, we said we'll pay X amount to do it,
yeah.
so. But like I said, they're waiting on some parts to come in, and when they do, that was why that revised schedule moved the jail back a little, was because of some of the plumbing stuff wasn't in yet. But I'll keep on them.
Andy, did you get what you needed when, on the jail report? Did you and Jeff get what you needed from Sycamore? I haven't heard from that in a while.
As far as I know, no one, well, that's basic, you mean for the insurance company, correct?
Yeah.
Sign off.
I think they're happy with what they got at this
Yeah,
point.
we're fine right
Right.
now.
So, yes, that's it.
Lud? John?
Nothing here.
Okay. Carl?
No.
Derek?
Fingers crossed for Friday. That's all I got.
Anything to come before the meeting we haven't discussed? Entertain a motion to adjourn. Andy moves.
Second.
Derek seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Right.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.
Yeah, Derek, the drainage committee chose to ignore your airboat comment.
It wasn't.
You're striking a little close.
Aaron, I've got a couple things here.